Hey guys, Budget Girl here. I want to do a little bit of an end of the month recap of my budget because wah, wah, I busted it. Yep, even me, Budget Girl, completely and totally busted her budget for the month of April. A couple of expenses came up that I forgot about, like the fees for my dog training class for Rory, and my recorder broke at work, so I had to buy a new one. And I also didn't pay that much attention to my what I was buying at the grocery store in the last couple of months or the last couple of weeks, and I found a couple of good deals, so I stocked up, and I came in a grand total of $90 over. So here's the thing. I could have taken that money out of the overtime that I collected for the month, which was about $120. That could have equaled out. I still would have had, a few bucks to go to savings, but I didn't. And here's why. That overtime money was always intended to go to savings. I have to work on the base budget that I told you guys about, the absolute minimum that I'm going to make, that $14.73. So if I took the money that I went over from my overtime pay, I'd just be stealing from my savings, and I don't want to do that. So I put that money that I got in overtime to my savings, to my car fund, and I took the money out of this month's budget. It was $50 in groceries and $40 in personal that I went over. So instead of $150 this month for groceries, I have only $100 to spend with, and that's going to be a challenge. Instead of $80 to spend in personal, just for anything extra that I want, I only have $40 now. So that's going to be a challenge this month, but it's doable. It's completely doable. Like I said, I stocked up on stuff I found at salvage grocery stores last month, so I've got plenty of food, and I can supplement that with the $100 that I got, and I'll just have to ignore the fact that May is one of the best yard sale months ever, and just do better my spending. Now, if you get into the habit of borrowing from the next month, of course you should never do that. You should only spend the money that's in your month's budget, but it does teach accountability because you're just stealing from future you. Now, if you keep doing it month after month after month, you're going to get into a giant hole that you can't even come out of. So if I went $80 over this month, I wouldn't have one for next month, and it would just keep going out. And that wouldn't solve anything. That wouldn't solve spending problems. So I decided to do one of the things that I never really do, but it helps. The envelope system. Now, most of you have probably heard about the envelope system. You make little envelopes for each of your discretionary spending categories. In my case, the things that I tend to overspend on is groceries, eating out, and personal money. So what you do is you take money out of the bank for the month. So I put $100 instead of $150 in food, and that's going to have to last the month. My normal $60 for eating out, and only $40 into personal. And there's cash in here, and I have to not go over it. I do not use my debit card for any of these purchases this month, and it hurts more. It just hurts more to hand over cash, so it is far more likely that I will stick with the budget envelope system this month and will be able to have my full budget available to me next month. So this is just kind of the best of all the worlds for me, I think, because I was able to put all my extra money into savings last month. I mean, I put the $200 that I budgeted into savings plus all my overtime. I also canceled an old credit card that originally had a reserve balance on it, and I got $50 back for that, so woohoo. I also, to replace that credit card, I signed it for a new one and strategically put my grocery shopping on it last month which I did go over on, but because I did that, I reached a certain amount. It was like you have to spend $200 in the first 2 months or something like that, and they gave you a $100 reward. So I got $150 in back in credit and $120 from savings or from overtime. So I was able to put all of that into savings last month on top of the $200 that I put in. So I basically put $500 into savings last month, even though I busted my budget. So that's another reason I wouldn't have been able to do that if I had just stolen that extra money from my savings. And now I have a fun little challenge. So consider doing the envelope system. If you keep going over in a budget category, I will keep you updated on how it works. But so far, I have not eaten out yet, despite the fact that I have been very tempted, because I really don't want to break the 20s that are in here. I just don't. So, good luck on your budget this week, and Budget Girl out.